Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be talking about ways to get motivated, different tools you can use, and when and how to use them. Okay, so let's dive into those tools to help motivate you and then when and how to use them. So just to kind of give it a little background on myself, so I've been in a situation where I just kind of dug myself right into a hole. It wasn't exactly like rock bottom per se, but it was a place that didn't feel good and I didn't know how to get out of it. That is, until I recognized that I'm the only person who has the ability and the responsibility to make the changes happen for myself. Okay, so number one, learn what it is that you want to or need to work on. So this might take some self-reflection. It may not be on the surface. You may not know exactly what it is that you want to improve on. My advice would be to start small because this is going to be, or start simple because this is going to be something that you're going to be working on for the rest of your life. It just kind of helps avoid overwhelming yourself right at the beginning. Okay, number two, learn why you want to work on this. So whether or not you are doing this because you just want to work on it, you want to improve yourself, or you notice something is seriously wrong and you want to really make some big changes in your life, knowing why is going to be one of the biggest things to keep you moving. I know on those really tough days where you really don't want to put in the work, your why is going to be the thing that gets you off the couch or just gets you whatever it is that you're working towards is going to get you to keep going at it with that. So the second part to this is to make it visual. Did you know that your eyes are the most information collecting sense that we have out of all five senses? I learned that in one of the books that I read and I was like, oh dang, I didn't know that. So make it visual. I use the Instagram posts that I do. I know a lot of people like vision boards. I haven't really dabbled in that. I don't know, get a photo that makes you really think about your bigger picture. Journaling, making notes, that was another thing that a lot of people I know do and it's really helpful for them. And number three is set a structure. So we are creatures of habit. And if you didn't already know this, think about back in the day when you had to go to class and you didn't have assigned seats. Most likely you probably picked the same seat every time that you went back to that room. We love habit. We love to create structure naturally. So make it easier for yourself, set a structure, come up with a plan, set that structure for something that's going to be realistic. So what can you realistically achieve, and pick like a shorter period of time. I usually like to set something up no later than 1 day's worth of time. If you're working on something that you typically do several times a day, maybe, making sure that it happens every hour or so, that's usually pretty helpful for me. And my personal favorite, number four, is figuring out what excites you. So what makes you happy when you're working on something that takes a lot of work and is really hard as hell. For me personally, I really like to get new workout clothes. That's pretty motivating when I'm working on fitness. Another big fan favorite is like cheat meals. I can't do that on 75 hard, but I get it and I used to do it and I probably will do it again soon. But if you're having trouble kind of figuring out what it is that excites you or something that you can kind of implement into whatever your structure is, stay tuned to the end of this because I'm going to go through some ideas. And last but not least, number five. So number five is literally get up and go. Just get it started. When I did 75 hard, I started on a day, like I said, a day in advance for getting started, and it just created so much anxiety around this program. It really gave me a lot of time to kind of think about what it was that I was committing to. I ended up putting it like way up on a pedestal when it really wasn't that big of a deal. If you just start right now, you're gonna be so much more better off. Start with what you have. So when I started 75 hard, I didn't have a gym membership. I didn't have protein powder. I literally just started with some workout videos that I had in my DVD collection and I don't know, just eating normal food. And I've already noticed a lot of differences just in my own physique. And I know I'm really narrowing this down to fitness, and it kind of goes for everything that somebody could be working on to improve themselves. So start with what you have and go from there. You can always build on to what you have. Just get started. Get started with what you have. Make it work for yourself. You're going to be so much more successful with getting through the tough times if you get started with what you got. Okay? Okay, so you might be having a hard time figuring out what it is that you can do to kind of give you that momentum when you feel stuck or just not into it. Activities that stimulate those feel-good hormones, the daily dose, DOSE, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. So those 4 are going to be so helpful in getting through these hard times. As long as you're just doing something to kind of stimulate that release for all 4 of them or just a few of them on a daily basis. So I'll go through all 4 of those and give you a couple of ideas of how to stimulate that specific hormone. Okay, so dopamine is the reward chemical. And so finishing a task or eating food, those are great ideas on how to release dopamine. And oxytocin, the love hormone. So this gets released when you're holding a baby or playing with a dog or giving and getting a hug. Those are awesome activities for that love hormone. And serotonin is known as the mood stabilizer, and you release this hormone when you're doing physical fitness, you're outside with nature, or getting vitamin D from the sun. Another one is meditating. So those are activities that release serotonin. And last but not least is endorphin. So I always refer to myself as an endorphin junkie because I love to laugh. And laughter is definitely something that releases endorphins, and physical activity is also another activity. Physical activity is another way of releasing endorphins. So thank you guys again for watching these videos. It really means a lot to me that you guys are watching these, sharing them with your friends and family, and just kind of supporting the awareness of behavioral health and normalizing these experiences that we all have. If you liked the content of this video, give it a thumbs up. For the latest videos and more, hit that subscribe button.